friends, this is Normal here for Technique, and in this video we're gonna compare two mid-range phones, the Moto M with the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So we have the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max 5.5-inch variant, the ZC553KL variant, and we also have the new Moto M which has a 3GB RAM and 32GB storage variant. So in this video we'll compare a lot of aspects and see which is a better device to buy in this price point. The Moto M is priced 15,999 for the base variant, and the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max is priced almost 17,999 for this variant. So there is a difference in pricing and also a lot of other aspects, and we'll do a detailed comparison of these two phones in this video. So without any further delay, let's get started with a detailed review of these two phones. And first step, let's see the design and build quality. So design wise, you can see they're made of metallic chassis. You can see both a unibody design and both come with a metallic panel, and you can see the Zenfone 3 Max has a curved edge while it is slightly sharper edges on the Moto M, and you can see the rear panel almost similar in terms of design except for the camera placement, and feels quite good. The ASUS Zenfone 3 Max is slightly heavier than the Moto M because of the larger capacity battery. Other than that, looks quite good and looks premium on both these phones. So it's a matter of personal choice on which is a better device to buy here, and usability aspect, you would say both are quite good. Having said that, there is a chance of ASUS Zenfone 3 Max slipping because it has these curved edges and it's slightly smoother edges, making it slightly slippery in hands. But other hand, the Moto M has sharper edges, so it is quite good in hands as well. So that is the design and build quality of these two phones. Now let's talk about the display. So we have a full HD display on both these phones, and both have 5.5-inch screen size and IPS LCD panels, and the color quality and overall clarity of the display looks really good on both the phones. So it's again tie here in terms of display aspect. Both are really good displays. The touch response feels really good on both the phones. We have a Corning Gorilla Glass protection on the Moto M, while the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max has an oleophobic coating, and both are pretty good displays in this price point and does the job pretty well. So again, we have an on-screen button on the Moto M, and we have a capacitive touch button on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So in the display aspect, we would say both are equally good and does the job pretty well. Now let's talk about the software and the performance. So software, we have Android 6.0 Marshmallow running on both the phones, but there is a difference in the UI. We have the stock like UI on the Moto M, while it's ASUS Zen UI on the Zenfone 3 Max. So we'll talk about both these UIs separately. So first step, let's talk about the Moto M. So it has this Android 6.0 Marshmallow and the stock UI, and we have very basic apps installed. We have some apps from Microsoft installed for the first time, and you can see the quick toggles and notification center is exactly similar implementation like the stock Android, and even the settings panel. There aren't any additional options like customization, theming. All those things are not available on this device. It's a plain UI and does look quite good, and does come with decent options, but there are no third-party apps installed, just the FM radio and file manager included, and there is also support for Dolby Atmos, so that's something really good. So these are the options in the Moto M. It's a plain UI, and if you are a person who loves stock Android, then Moto M will not disappoint you. Now talking about the Zen UI on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, so we have this latest version of Zen UI which adds a lot of additional features and improvements. You can see Zen UI comes with an app drawer with really good options, and if you go to the settings panel, we have additional tools included like ASUS customized settings, Zen motion, support for EC mode, kids mode, and added support for customization which includes theming support, and if you there is also a lot of customization options in the form of icon packs, locking apps, and a lot of other options are also included, and you can see the custom notification center and quick toggles. So it's if you're a person who loves a lot of customization like themes, changing icons, and a lot of other options, then ASUS Zenfone 3 Max with the Zen UI is definitely a good choice. But the major issue with the Zen UI is the amount of bloatware it ships. A lot of bloatwares are included, which we feel ASUS could have avoided, and that's one reason we feel the ASUS Zen UI is still not up to the mark because of this amount of bloatware included. But having said that, it's a really good UI, a lot of features and tools are included, so if you're a person who loves customization, this won't disappoint you. Now talking about the performance, so we have two different processors. One is a MediaTek Helio P15 octa-core chipset, which is clocked at 2.2 GHz, coupled with 3 GB RAM and 32 GB storage on the Moto M, and there is also a version with 4 GB RAM and 64 GB storage. Now ASUS Zenfone 3 Max comes with a Snapdragon 430 chipset, and it is coupled with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. And in day-to-day task, both these devices does the job pretty well, and there's no major lags or issues. And we would definitely say in terms of the gaming experience, neither of them are really superior, but ASUS Zenfone 3 Max does the job pretty well without much issues. But on the other hand, the Moto M has an heating issue, and the gaming experience was not that great when we tested the Moto M 3 GB RAM variant. Now looking at the benchmark score of these two phones, the Antutu score, you can see that Moto M with a Helio P15 octa-core chipset, which is clocked at 2.2 GHz, is slightly more superior in terms of the benchmark scores. But having said that, benchmark scores are not really a value for performance, but still there is a difference in benchmark score on the Moto M when compared to the 45,000 on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So there is a slight superior aspect for the Moto M in terms of the performance. So that's the performance aspect, and apart from that, both these devices have dual SIM cards, 4G LTE and VoLTE support. And additionally, we can say that ASUS Zenfone 3 Max and the Moto M both have enhanced music support, but the Moto M comes with Dolby Atmos support, so that's an added feature when you are using the speakers to listen to music. Now both these devices have fingerprint scanner located on the rear panel and does the job pretty well. We would say the Moto M is slightly faster than the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max in terms of the fingerprint scanner experience. So that was the performance aspect of these two phones. Now let's talk about the camera. So we have a 16 megapixel shooter on both these phones. Both the phones have dual tone LED flash, and additionally Zenfone 3 Max also has laser autofocus, and we have an 8 megapixel front facing camera on both the phones. Now talking about the camera interface, you can see that both these devices offer decent amount of options. We have professional mode and some additional options are also included, but on ASUS Zenfone 3 Max we have additional lot of options like light mode, low light mode, super resolution mode, then there is also manual mode. So in terms of the features being offered, we would say the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max offers additional features for the camera app. Now talking about the camera performance of these two phones, we would say that this is one area where the Moto M has a clear edge, and the camera performance of the Moto M when compared to the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max is better. And why we say that, because when we reviewed the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, we said that it has a tendency to make the images yellowish in nature, and it's not really consistent camera on the Zenfone 3 Max. But on the other hand, the Moto M has a really good camera and does the job pretty well with a great color quality, and it's very similar to the Moto M G4 Plus, one of the really good cameras in this price point. So in camera aspect, we would say in both rear and front camera, we would say that Moto M has the edge over the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. Now finally talking about the battery performance. So we have a 3050 mAh battery with fast charging, that's rapid charging on the Moto M, and we have a 4100 mAh battery on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, along with fast charging and also reverse charging. That means we can use this device as a power bank if you want to charge other devices. So that's an added feature for the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. Now the battery performance is definitely better on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max with a high capacity battery, and you can easily get through almost close to 1.5 days with the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, but easily you can get through 1 day of usage on the Moto M. So battery, it's a clear winner, ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So now we have talked about almost all aspects about these two phones. So ASUS Zenfone 3 Max has an advantage that it has customizable software and a better battery experience. Along with that, it also can be used as a power bank. Now Moto M has the advantage that it has a really good software, almost upgradable to Android 7.0, really good cameras, and pricing is also cheaper, and it has almost good display, good design and build quality, and it is having a software which is not bloated, almost like stock experience. So pricing 15,999 for the Moto M and 17,999 for the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, and there is also a variant 17,999 Moto M variant with 4GB RAM and 64GB storage when you compare with the pricing of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So based on these comparisons, we would say, unless you're really looking for an excellent gaming experience, we would suggest you to buy the Moto M, which offers better value for money with a higher capacity storage and also better RAM, and the software also looks really good. But if you're in the market for a phone which has really great battery life, and also has a customizable software with lot of additional customization in offer, then ASUS Zenfone 3 Max is your choice. But overall, we would say our choice would be the Moto M. So that's all guys with a comparison of these two phones. So if you plan to buy either of these devices, we have the link available in the description of this video. We can use our link to buy, and that helps our channel. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.